Hello and welcome back, everyone. Happy Sunday. And look who's back. Our favorite Zach is in the house. Hey,
Hello.
Zach.
Hi.
Um, how are you doing, my darling?
Alive and thriving.
I can see that. I can see that. You're
I just got
definitely,
back from my workout, so I'm feeling pumped. Vanderpump.
definitely, yeah. I mean, lately, I've got to say, lately, your energy is like you're glowing inside
Am
out.
I? Am I?
Yes, you are.
Well, listen, I love life, and life is life in right now. So life's good.
Life is more than lifing right now for you, right? Because you've got a lot of stuff that you're working on, big plans for the future, big projects for the future.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you, Zach, and it's very well deserved as well. So
Thank you.
everyone, just stay tuned and watch Zach skyrocket. And also you've got BravoCon coming up soon as well, which that's going to be exciting. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I was really planning on coming, but I mean, coming from Athens to
Yeah.
Las Vegas, New York is a different thing.
Yeah.
You know, you
Did
just
you go
have a
last year?
direct. No, I didn't. I didn't go
Mm.
last year. I don't remember why. There was something. I don't remember why. There was a serious reason why I couldn't go last year. But this year I was literally looking for tickets, and then I was like, way too expensive. It's going to take me 13 hours to get there. Change 3 flights. Too
BravoCon's
expensive.
like in 2 weeks, right?
It's in 2 weeks.
Oh wow, it's coming up quick.
Are you going for the full 3 days?
Oh, I'm not
Like,
going at all.
oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you're not going at all.
Nope, I'll
'Cause there's
enjoy it from LA.
because you're like, why should I go over there? You can meet up with housewives and Bravo celebrities and hang out with them anytime you want, right? Because you are in LA, you're in the hub
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, listen, I mean, BravoCon's a fun experience, and I know everyone that's going to go is going to have a blast. They're going to be in Vegas. It's going to be nonstop. It just didn't make sense for me to make the trip out. And, when it does make sense, I would love to attend. But yeah, I have to get ready for my own live show in LA on November 19th. I'm doing a no filter Friendsgiving night out. So that'll be fun. Got
Ooh.
some reality star pals that'll be in that too. At the Bourbon Room.
Ooh. Oh, the Bourbon Room.
The Bourbon Room. I'm back.
You're back in the Bourbon Room, but this time it's going to be on a positive note. It's all going to go really well in the Bourbon
Yeah.
Room. Yeah. And there you go. Okay, you guys. So let's start because we've got a really fun show today because it's spooky season. Halloween is right around the corner. We all love Halloween. Zach loves Halloween, or I hope he does. Do you?
I do.
Good. And we thought, why not read around and talk about those big conspiracy theories that have been going around. And I hate calling things like that conspiracy theories because lately conspiracy theories are not conspiracy theories at all. They're actually I don't know, we have to find a new term for that. All right, because conspiracy theories comes with a very negative connotation on it. But anyways, we'll call it that for the sake of this video, for the sake of what we're talking about today. So we're going to keep it light. You guys can, so we have certain conspiracy theories that we will be talking about and reading the cards around. I'm going to bring up my tarot cam in a minute, but also you chat, if you guys want to ask anything, go ahead towards the end. Just add a cue at the beginning so we don't miss it. And also, I want to say a hello and big welcome to my new mod, Jax. Jax is going to be moderating along with Issa. Gabby's away. Gabby's taking a little bit of time out for personal reasons. She'll be back soon as she's recovered, as soon as she feels well enough to come back to the social media world. It's exhausting, you guys. Not everyone can, cope with what's going on here. And Gabby's been very active on your channel too, Zach, as well.
Yes.
She's been very much so. She's very hands-on. She's very much she's a great support to all of us. So prayers and love to Gabby. But hello and welcome, Jax, to the family, to the mod gang. right, you guys. So we will start. Let's start with, because you guys suggested some as well, because I did ask you in the community tab which conspiracy theories you want to tackle. So I just took the most popular ones. And then, of course, if Zach has anything specific, just really quickly, you guys, if you're asking for anything, please keep it away from political issues, okay? Don't ask me about Trump. Don't ask me about QAnon. Don't ask me about anything like that. I want to keep it light, and I don't want to cause any drama between people. I don't want to have comments underneath. It's Halloween, you guys. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with Area 51, which is one of the oldest, let's just say, conspiracy theories, or the most long-standing conspiracy theories out there. Zach, so I want to ask you, first of all, what do you think of conspiracy theories? Second of all, which one is your favorite conspiracy theory? And third of all, do you believe in Area 51?
I believe that conspiracy theories, they come from somewhere, right? Like there has to be a kernel of truth that led to the popcorn popping. So
Yeah.
I think that there is something linked to each conspiracy theory that, I mean, I think even like Bigfoot, I'm sure somebody saw some big ominous creature one time, and then that led to the legend of Bigfoot. So I think, there is a kernel of truth in each conspiracy theory. It just depends on like how big we've turned it into. Do I believe in Area 51? I mean, why not? I believe in Area 50. I believe in most conspiracy theories, or I believe that there's at least a sliver of truth in most of them.
I'm with you on that, but I love the fact that you're very open to those, because a lot of people, they hear conspiracy theories and they just close down. They're like, no, there is no proof. This is BS, blah, blah, blah. But I agree with you. There's always,
I think because they're scared. I think people are scared of the truth being, because like if these conspiracy theories are true, then that means that there's something big and ominous and something being hidden or something secret that, is being kept from them, and they don't like that. They like knowing and like being certain and like being,
I agree. But you know what's funny? Now that like officials are coming out and discussing aliens and alien life forms and etc., do you see how like blasé and totally indifferent people were? Like the reaction was not what they were expecting, because people were like, you know what? If it weren't for these conspiracy theories, these movies, and people who really did their own research regarding aliens and UFOs all these years, and now it's right in front of them. Well, although I don't believe most of the stuff that came out, like the Mexico aliens. Did you hear about that?
No.
So I should have brought it up. I should have had an image. So I think it was a couple of months ago, where this guy, the Mexican television, or a big network in Mexico, came up and said, we've got proof of alien life form, and we've got video we want to present them to you. So they did a whole press conference, and they showed these tiny little aliens, which at first I saw them and I thought, is that made of stone? Is that like, it didn't look like a mummified alien, if you will.
Yeah.
It looked weird. And they were tiny. Like they were like, I don't know. They were like, 2 feet, 3 feet high. I mean, tall. I don't know. You couldn't tell because they were like, lying in these like makeshift coffins, I guess. But anyway, and I said, there was a whole thing about that some people were shocked, some people were scared, other people were like, I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. I did throw the cards. I did, do a reading on that. And I'm like, most of the stories that have come out about aliens the last 3 months, you guys, just, be wary of that. Because to me, it's more about diverting, let's just say, attention, or trying
to cover up something else.
And now we know what it was, because at last we see what was happening in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And and that situation, I'm not going to get into it, but just so people know, because I've been getting a lot of DMs, that situation, the next 2 months, you guys, is going to be very brutal, very bloody, very aggressive, just so you know.
In the
What's
Middle
going to happen.
East.
Yeah, in the Middle East. It does not look good. Next 2 months. For sure, next month, 2 months. I'm not saying this is gonna end in 2 months, but I'm just saying the next 2 months are gonna be very, very disturbing for the world to watch and follow. But anyways, let's not dampen the mood. We can talk about this some other time. So let's get back to Area 51. Area 51. I'm gonna bring up my cam. I'll just do that over there, over here. And let's see, where do we start, Zach? Help me out. Where
With
do
Area
we start?
with Area 51. I mean,
Yeah.
can we just start with the simple as like, is it real and what is really there and why are we covering it up?
Okay, so let's start with, does it exist in the form that
Yeah.
we think it exists? Like that,
Right.
it's like a secret, it's an area where they do experimentations and
Mhm.
they can.
I mean, how could it not be real? I mean, come on. That like it just to me, I'm like there. Maybe it's not called Area 51 or whatever, but like that. I don't know. There's something about that that just like there's nothing shocking about that they have an area where they do experiments and stuff and like are keeping things from the world. So like, hello.
I mean, I don't want to go dark, but if they can do this to animals and kids, like certain people or certain organizations, why wouldn't they do it to aliens, if you will?
Yeah.
Right? I agree with you. So, let's see. So let's look first. So does Area 51 in the form that we think exists? And what can the cards or spirit tell me about that? That flipped. Nine of Pentacles. That was a jumper card. So let's see. This is gonna be fun. Queen of Pentacles. Too many pentacles, you guys, and Six of Cups and the Fool. All right. So because we're not talking about someone specific and I'm not tapping into some specific energy, you guys give me some time to be to interpret the cards. All right. Because it's a little bit harder when we're talking about urban legends, conspiracy theories, and things like that. Instantly, the first thing, like my intuition, instantly, as soon as I pull these cards here, is that Area 51 does exist, but not in the form that we think at this point, right now, today. So it is an area where the military probably, conducts some experiments, or they keep their like top secret ammunition, planes, things like that. Yes, I get that, because I do see with the pentacles, it feels to me it's like a gold mine for the US, Area 51. What's going on in there and what is kept there is like a gold mine. Okay. So that's why I feel it is there's high security around it. You can't fly planes over there. They're trying, they're trying, if not hiding something, protecting something. Okay. So they're definitely protecting something that is a very, very, very high value for the government, for the Western world, I would assume, for the world. Six of Cups. I feel that Area 51, the way we see it or the way we think of it when we talk about it, it doesn't exist in that way anymore. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that if in the past, indeed, Area 51 was the place where they would, keep aliens and do all these experiments, etc., they don't do that anymore there.
Because we found out about it.
Because we did what? Sorry?
Because we found out about it. Like now that we know what it kind of was, they've moved that elsewhere now, right? Yeah, no.
I'm not sure, because I have the Fool here. So what it is, I kind of feel that maybe the whole Area 51 wasn't an accident that we found out, because how I feel it being so high security and trying to protect something that's a gold mine there, the government wouldn't slip up. People like that, high ranking officials, would not slip up and let it slip that, by the way, this is what we're doing here. I don't think that that's an accident. I really think that in some respect, they wanted people to believe in aliens and believe that the government is so powerful that they're able to capture them, experiment, dissect them, do reverse engineering on, UFOs and things like that. So I don't think that's an accident. I think that's deliberate. But things have quieted down. People don't talk about it as much, right? It's become more of a tourist area now where people just drive through the desert,
Yeah.
right? Or they go there and they like camp out in the desert and they observe the skies, hoping to see UFOs. So it's become a business.
Yeah.
Hence the pentacles as well. So it's almost like it works out. The fact
Yeah.
that people are so invested in this works out for the governments because, again, it's throwing shade, it's throwing sand in their eyes. It's like, yeah, you guys be busy over here thinking about aliens because we've got bigger, more important things to deal with, and you guys do your stuff.
Yeah.
This is what I feel with that justice as
Diversion.
well.
Yeah.
A diversion for sure. 8 of Wands. I do feel that in the last Area 51 has been around for at least 80 years, I want to say.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. But why do I feel it was somewhere else? Okay, the whole idea of Area 51, I feel was somewhere else, and then it was moved to the desert where it is now, in the 50s. Was it 50s or 60s? I don't remember. I think it was 50s.
Okay.
So it feels like they've relocated. Knight of Pentacles. They are, look, with that justice there, they're indeed doing things there. There's a lot happening. I can see your posters are going around. Oh, sweet. So I do see it does exist, to answer your question, and then we'll get to the other question that you had, which I forgot, and you have to remind me, but it does exist, but not in the form that it did in the past or in the form that we believe it is.
So then what was its purpose? Was it really to experiment on aliens?
Good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Hold on. Let's see this one. Knight of Cups. The Sun. It was okay, because when we say aliens, we keep thinking about, little gray man or tall gray man or the tall white, etc. But I want to say that this had nothing to do with aliens at first, with Area 51, aliens as in aliens, but it was more about like developing really high tech or really advanced technology. And things that way back in the 40s and 50s was super advanced for the time, right? Super, super advanced. Now we've got a. So I see here, look, I got the Sun. So to me, it wasn't an accident that Area 51 came out in the open and people knew about it. That was not an accident. They wanted us to. Now, the purpose was, as I said, I do feel it was because they've got all that land. They're in the middle of nowhere, and they could just like play around, develop, experiment with new weapons, new technologies, and stuff like that came out or became more of it. You know what I heard? Why do I hear? So the internet, because we all know the World Wide Web started. It was developed for the army, right? It was developed. It was a one way to connect the army or different bases from around the world for them to talk online in real time, etc. And then it became available to the public, to the world, right? So the Area 51, it feels the technology that they developed and the stuff that they developed 30, 40, 50 years ago has become it's what we're now learning about, whether it's AI, whether it's holograms, whether it is, think about like really high-tech stuff. That stuff has been developed and has been worked on and experimented on for years. I mean, decades.
We're now getting access to it.
We're now getting access to. Now, the alien stuff, I feel it's something that was ignited. I'm not getting a yes or no if there are aliens there trapped, imprisoned, whatever, a morgue of aliens there. I'm not, but I have to say that because of the technology and because of the stuff that they were experimenting, just like the CERN, the CERN, what's it called? Is it called the CERN? It's not an experiment. The one in Switzerland where they're doing this underground experiment with this huge, what's it called? I don't know what they're called. I don't know the technical terms, anyways. Where they're trying to figure out like the black holes and wormholes and things like that. So and let's say and how time works. So it feels something like that. Am I making sense, you guys? So I don't know. You tell me, Zach, if I'm making sense, because I know I'm rambling, but I'm trying to.
No, I'm following your drift.
I'm trying to piece everything together, right? What's coming through. So it's very much like all that stuff that came out, which I'm not saying that they didn't learn from alien life forms. They could have. Okay. They could have learned this from alien life forms because I do believe in aliens. Again, not in the Hollywood way, but extraterrestrial life. We are completely ignorant and naive if we think we're the only ones in this vast universe, right? So yeah, aliens in the form that Hollywood is trying to sell it to us, and how their tourist business or tourist industry over there is booming because of that. Is a bit of an exaggeration today. I'm not saying it wasn't in the 50s, but today. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, because they're not going to keep top secret stuff that's accessible for people to come around and poke around and turn into a touristy event. Like that's not. There's probably nothing even there. They just maintain it as a front. It's the rug shop that's secretly selling drugs in the back.
Exactly.
The carpet store, like in West Hollywood, you go into West Hollywood and you see like 50, rug and carpet stores on the same strip, and you're like, who's buying this many luxury carpets?
Exactly. Jill Zarin. Yeah. I agree. That's exactly how I see it. And how it's been shown to me. So I think we tackled that. I think that answers the Area 51.
Okay. What's the next one?
Okay, what's the next one? The next one is JFK.
Oh, JFK.
That's a big one.
I mean, we think he was assassinated, right? Like we think he was assassinated. Like that's the conspiracy, is that he was deliberately assassinated by the government, right? Or
there are many theories.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one that the QAnons are just really sort of like circling around, which is like JFK is alive. He'll be the next president of the United States and whatnot. He's been in hiding because he had his agenda, and he's here to.
I've never heard this one. Oh my God.
You haven't?
Is he the one that's running Biden because Biden's a robot?
He's with Tupac and Elvis. None of them are dead. They're all
I've heard of Tupac and Elvis. Yeah.
They're all hiding somewhere, waiting for that moment.
And where are they coming back for? Like, are the three of them? They're just they're underground right now. They're with the aliens. Where are they in Area 51? Like, I don't understand why they would be in hiding for all this time to make a comeback for what? For Jada Pinkett Smith because Tupac is the love of her life.
Right, now that she came out, maybe Tupac will be like,
now she's available. Time to make my comeback.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are the cards saying about it? Okay.
The other one is that, what was his name? Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't acting on his own. Like, he wasn't a crazed weirdo guy who just was obsessed with JFK and wanted to kill him. And know that he was working either with the FBI or he was a spy for the Russians back then. Remember, we had the what's called Cold War. So that's another. There's so many. I've written them down. I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories around the JFK assassination. What's the other one? Theories suggesting involvement of the CIA agents, either angered by the pay of pigs or acting on behalf of the Vice President Lyndon Johnson's behalf. This is one of them. Similar one for Marilyn Monroe, remember? Because people were like, who killed Marilyn Monroe? Oh, it's the CIA because JFK, because she was involved with JFK. She knew too much. I mean, everything's kind of like all these theories are interconnected, I guess. So I don't know, where should we start with this? Like, there's so many ways we can go about this.
I mean, can we ask who killed JFK, or like what was the motivation behind it? I think it was probably some sort of inside job. I don't think it was some crazy lunatic that was just obsessed with JFK and was like, I'm gonna take a hit. I think that was a convenient narrative, but I think that he was clearly hired by somebody. This was a deliberate attempt to assassinate the president. Because also, I mean, look at everybody hates Trump and everybody hates Biden. Not to get political, but everyone hates Trump and Biden. That, like, if we wanted to take them out, like, we could have taken them out by now. But I think this was,
good, very good point. Very, very good point. Let's see. So, what was the motivation behind the assassination? Let's see. No,
because
Trump.
he's not still alive. Come on, there's no way this dude is alive.
He's not.
He's not alive. Neither is Tupac, and neither is Elvis.
Neither is Marilyn Monroe. I mean, what was the motivation? Yeah. Here's the thing. Do you see the Knight of Pentacles? I do feel that someone might have like promised him something, or someone promised to give him some money or something like that. So I feel that this guy was unstable. What was his name again? Lee Harvey Oswald. He was, not all there.
Yeah.
I feel that there were other assassination attempts I'm picking up. So
Okay.
so I feel that
from the same guy.
From the same guy, but here's the thing. I feel there was another one by someone else in the past, something that never came out because they didn't want copycats. Sometimes they keep these things because they don't want people to get any, crazy. Ooh,
ideas.
I'm frozen again. Yeah, to get any ideas. So that's why we never heard or learned about these assassination attempts. But I do feel that someone offered him something.
Yeah,
okay? Look, because I get pentacles, work, Lee Harvey. So I'm sure the chat will know more than we do, or I do. But here's the thing. This guy that paid him, I feel that Lee Harvey Oswald was working with them, or he was working for someone.
Yeah.
And in the past, not at the time that happened, in the past, that's how the connection is, through work.
Okay.
Through organization, through work, maybe the CIA. The Sun here, obsessed, some kind of obsession, I feel someone tampered with the killer's mind in some way and convinced him of that he is the son of JFK, that he was like the unwanted son, something like that. Like, it feels very twisted because he genuinely thought that he was related to JFK, or that he was like an unwanted, as I said, son or someone, which that was fed to him on purpose.
Well, that would be a way to motivate somebody, is by picking up on that trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Abandonment issues. Daddy didn't want you. Here's the fake documentation to prove that you were really his, and here's what he did, and this is how you ended up in the circumstances that you ended up in. You could have ended up in the White House, but instead you ended up in this shitty lifestyle, and now you should go and seek your revenge because mind control.
Yep.
But mind control, like a manipulation, not like in a we're gonna control your mind with the chip, right?
Not in an MK Ultra way, although I wouldn't have it, like, I wouldn't be surprised, if you will, but mind control as in taking someone who is mentally unstable and really changing his sense of reality and who he is and what's going on around him, and manipulating this poor person to do a heinous act towards the president of the United States. So, okay, wait, NW is saying, I've got questions about Brandon the Ordinary. What did he do? He died? When? I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
Ooh. I mean, you know what? I'll come out and say it. Anytime I hear of some kind of celebrity or some kind of, businessman or powerful person or politician that dies in by, falling off a window or a balcony, my mind keeps going to the Russians. Intuitively, I'm just
Mm.
allegedly for entertainment purposes only. No one wants to get in trouble here, but I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. Maybe there are. Ooh, wait, what is Russia? Intergalactic Defender, you're on my mind. Exactly. What's everyone saying? Sorry, we'll get back to this. There's a single kill. He died at the scene convenient. Think Las Vegas.
Yeah.
He was in legal battle with Lancome, and there was a lot of speculation about his mental health. And, well, I've seen interviews of he was very, very smart. The owner of or the founder of The Ordinary. Yeah. So yeah, back to JFK. So that was the motivation. So the motivation of him. Now maybe we should look into what was the motivation of whoever did this or whoever
hired him. Yeah, whoever pushed him to do it.
Yeah. What did you always think? What was always like? What did you think before this reading?
I thought it was always like an inside job. Like he was doing something that people didn't like, so the government took him out themselves.
Well, you're not wrong.
I rarely am.
Hold on, let's get back to this. So why would they want him on this one flipped open? So I'll just take this one. The Hierophant is also the state.
So am I right?
You're right. Oh, that was a jumper card. Hold on. I've got goosebumps. I just got goosebumps. Why am I whispering? We're talking to 55
I'm
people.
pretty intuitive myself. Now
You are. I told you this. I told you this, that you are. Ooh, the moon secrets. Before I go on, you guys, if you like this video, please like this video now. Don't forget to like this video. It does wonders to the algorithm and to the YouTube gods, because we know how temperamental those YouTube gods can be. So like this video. If you're new here, please subscribe. And also head on over to Zack. If you don't know who you are, have you been living under a rock? But if you've been living under a rock, get out of your rock and go subscribe to Zack. Everything is linked down below. Right, back to that. Look at this, the state. The moon is about secrets and unveiling secrets.
As in, like, he had secrets that he was going to reveal, and that's why they took him out?
I'll tell you, the wheel, they wanted to change things. They wanted to change the course of something. The Page of Pentacles. I don't want to get in trouble. So allegedly, you guys, and this is for entertainment purposes only, the state was involved in this, or powerful people within the government. It feels to me that JFK had secrets, knew things. He was very well aware of corruption and secrets and things that were happening, that they were afraid that he was going, because he was gaining a lot. He was a very popular president, as you all know, because we still talk about him. I'm not even American, and I admire him. Like, I love him. You know what I mean? Like, he was so charming. He had that energy, that vibe about him. But he was gaining power, more and more power, more and more popularity. They did not like that. They wanted to change that. Hence why there were other attempts in the past. Page of Pentacles, Six of Wands. They did, look. Six of Wands, they did not like how popular, how loved, and how powerful he was, in the sense that you have a lot of power when the public loves you and idolizes you. Look at Taylor Swift, look at Beyonce, and they're not politicians, but now these days,
Kim Kardashian,
exactly. So they just, to me, it was taking the power away, and the only way to do that was to get rid of him. Sorry to say it. in that way, but that's how it comes to me. Like they wanted to get rid of him. That he was too much of a liability. There was too much at stake. He knew too much, and he probably even threatened or told them that he would come out and reveal some stuff. Maybe after,
sense.
not while he was president, but maybe afterwards. But
That
it would
makes
have been too
sense.
late. So yeah, that was the motivation behind it.
That's what I always thought that it was. I always thought it
Yeah.
was the government that took him out because
But it confirms, I think we all knew it, but it kind of like confirms that now. So yeah, I don't know. Do we want to know anything else about oh wait, Elle is asking, was it the same thing with his brother Robert and his son JFK Jr.? Yeah, I mean, listen, the whole family. I'm not saying they had their hands were clean, the Kennedys. I'm not saying that. But I do feel that out of all of them, JFK was maybe the more moral one or the one who wanted to sort of change things. Because the family, generationally, they do have a generational curse, which is what we're seeing now. How many Kennedys have been unalived or have left us? And every time they get into politics, someone's out. It's crazy. Have you noticed? Like,
yeah.
so that should get everyone thinking and wondering why is that?
Well, now we
So
have RFK Jr. that's trying to run for president.
I know, but let's see. I hope he survives. Like, I really do. But from what I'm seeing, they
Yeah.
are so against this family. And there are old families or old, like, families who come from money and power that do have a lot of secrets. And I know this firsthand, and I cannot share things with you guys, but I know from personal hand certain things that these types of families have. They have vaults with books, with diaries, with artifacts, with things that will never and should never come to light. They should never, because they're things that people will not be able to digest. Although I do feel that at some point things will come out because people are so much more open now
Yeah.
and so much more receptive to
Yeah.
things. Yeah, so oh yeah, I mean, next life I guess for him associated with the mafia. Yeah, but it feels to me this is not so much confined to the mafiosos or the mafia. It's bigger than that, so and more powerful than that. I don't know. Zach,
What about
you want to know?
Marilyn Monroe? Was she taken out for knowing too much, or was she something completely unrelated to JFK?
Good question. Yeah, because that relates to the
We love Marilyn Monroe.
When I was younger, I really Grace Kelly and Marilyn Monroe were my like idols, my favorites. I used to wear my makeup the way they did, always did my hair the way they did. I just loved. I always
Yeah.
found that they were very strong women. They were great role models in a sense, but they both had dramatic endings. I've got a Scorpio moon. I do kind of like get attracted to more of that drama and
Yeah.
darkness.
Drama.
The darkness. So Marilyn Monroe, what can you tell us about her death or her? Is there anything behind her death that we should know?
Yeah. Kelly has a theory. She thinks it was Jackie.
Who?
I mean, well, that would be interesting though, because like people are saying the Kennedys had a lot of power that, like,
And we do know that Jackie was jealous and very possessive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you read the books and the biographies, the Hanged Queen of Cups. Can someone in the chat real quick give me Merlin's or Google Merlin's or mods? Can you Google Marilyn Monroe's star sign, please? Eight of Pentacles. She was left out. She was left out to hang and dry. It seems that with Merlin too, it's not so much things that she knew, but more so things that they promised, or they were what I'm trying to say is that I feel that she was very, very manipulated. Like from her own team, from her agents, from her own team, from her lovers, from everyone. Okay, the Queen of Cups. That's why I'm asking. I want to see if she's a water sign, because she comes up as a water sign, someone with drinking problems, someone with addiction issues, maybe. Because
Her what sign?
I mean,
Her rising sign? Her star sign?
whatever you find, or I mean, if you find
she was a Gemini.
she was a Gemini, does it say right?
Gemini sun, Leo rising, Aquarius moon.
Oh, wow.
What does that
Okay,
mean?
so okay, very much struggling. Image was very important to her, okay? Because we've got the Leo rising. So Leo is very much about image.
Why is Shirley calling her a problematic Gemini? I'm a Gemini.
He's a Gemini. I mean, yeah, I sometimes I call you guys Geminis out, but I was raised up a Gemini, and so I have, you know, inner wounded child stuff going on. But just joking. No, I love, actually my closest friends are all Geminis because I'm an Aquarius. Aquarius and Geminis are the best combo. If you want to have fun, if you want to talk, and if you want to have 15 different conversations in like,
did you say Aquarius and Gemini?
yeah, Aquarius and Gemini. What are you thinking? I know what you're thinking. I'm an Aquarius too, by the way, but I know what you're thinking. I could read your mind at that moment.
Well, yeah, because I'd asked you about that the other day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, just saying that it's a great combo because Gemini, both air signs, Gemini, super resourceful, super fun, up for adventures, up for anything. Don't mind trying something new. And Aquarius just goes with that. And we really love that. Oh, Shirley apologizes, Zack.
It's okay. I'm problematic, Shirley. I own it. I wasn't offended.
Aren't we all? All right. So you said she's a Gemini with a Leo, and then you said an Aqua moon. She was someone I feel that kept her feelings and her heart to herself. So she was someone who, a lot of times, she would put up like this more, damn, this freezing. I hate where my camera keeps freezing. I'll figure this issue out at some point. But so what I was saying is like she was more, so she put on a persona. So the whole Marilyn Monroe, I keep wanting to say Marilyn Manson for some reason.
Oh no.
Sorry, I know. So I'm always like, am I saying the right Marilyn? Marilyn Monroe. So there was it. She cared about her image. She was very insecure about her image. She wanted to be seen in a way, but I don't really think truly that people truly knew her, like deeply knew her well and deep, who Marilyn was, because I felt that that was a side of her that she never unveiled or showed to the film industry people or the JFK people or JFK. Okay. Gemini also, I do feel very intuitively that she may have been bipolar, which was an issue because we do know that she was struggling a little bit with depression. They did try to blame, the all the stuff that they found around her, all the tablets and medications and stuff around her, that's what caused the death. I don't feel that, but I do feel that she was bipolar. And back then, no one knew what bipolar was, or they didn't know how to treat it in some way. They knew what depression was, and they did treat depression, but not bipolar, which is this mania that you get, where you're like two people in one. You get manic, and then you get really, really depressed. So 8 of Pentacles, the Hermit, she died alone, which we know. That is true. Again, 4 of Cups, she was depressed. She was not well. Oh, someone who she was either involved with romantically at the time or in the in the past was involved in this. Somehow, whether it was deliberate or not deliberate, meaning, and when I mean, I want to say that there was someone who gave her a little bit too much to drink and a little bit too many pills, Xanax, whatever it was at the time, Valium, whatever it was that they were taking at the time. That's what it feels like. Knight of Pentacles. Do you see Knight of Pentacles again? Knight of Pentacles keeps coming up in these like conspiracy readings, and it comes up as to who really is behind, who's the Wizard of Oz, who's behind the curtain. So there is a Wizard of Oz here too. Someone she was involved with.
Well, somebody's saying her ex, the Joe, the abusive one.
No, I don't feel it's Joe. Her ex-husband, you mean? I think they were married for a few months. I don't think it lasted long, but no, it doesn't feel like Joe. Someone else, like a lover, someone she used to see on the side, not like an official, let's say, relationship that she came out. She would be photographed with, etc. So, and someone who did manipulate the fact that she was bipolar, she had mental health challenges, and at the time she was depressed and down and really in a bad way.
Oof.
And because you know why? Because she felt betrayed, because she felt that she was left out to hang and dry and she was on her own. That's why she was in a bad way at the time of her death. And that's why this person here just took advantage of that and is like, Merlin, you know what will help you? Here, let me give you a little bit of whiskey, and I've got these magic pills like the Valley of the Did you ever read the Valley of the Dolls?
No.
You've got to read it. I love the Valley of the Dolls. It's like a 60s.
I know of it. Yeah.
Oh, it's fiction, but it really describes what artists and women in the film industry and models, that they used to take all these like Valiums, all these pills to be either super happy or super thin, things that they do somewhat now. But it's really interesting because it really takes you back to the 60s and how life was back then. And women then were a lot more oppressed. They were not a lot more, they were oppressed compared to how women are now. Because back then it was like women should stay at home and take care of the kids and they should have a husband and whatnot. So that societal pressure, how it led to women to become addicted to pills and stuff like that. So, and the reason why I bring it up, because that's what I was shown as well by Spirit. Like they literally showed me the cover of the book. And I do feel that someone did manipulate her state of mind, her fragile emotional state. Look, the devil, someone, she felt betrayed and someone just wanted her out. She dated a lot of people. Okay, so she knew a lot of people. She was someone who was very insecure. She had a very troubled childhood. She got married the first time when she was 16. She was sexualized from a very young age. So she had a lot of insecurities and things going on. And so she dated a lot of men out of insecurity, I guess. It was more so trying to build on her confidence. So I feel that she was also somewhat, because she was also involved with JFK, etc. She probably knew some secrets and stuff as well. But to me, this is not as big as the JFK. It's not like the CIA did it or the state or the government. It was really someone she was involved with. Maybe he was married. Okay, maybe he was married and he wanted her, like, he didn't want to risk that Merlin because she had mental health challenges and she was probably bipolar.
So could it be related to JFK then? Oh, you said it wasn't related to like
no,
secret.
not in that sense. Not in that sense. I really don't feel that these two deaths are connected together.
Okay.
But they're suspicious. I mean, they're both sus. They're
Yeah.
not. Yeah. So I think that puts that to bed at least.
Okay. What's the next?
And Christy Cartwright is what a woman should be. Exactly. That was back then. Arthur Miller. Yeah. She was married to him. Known drug addict and terrible drunk. Yep.
Great picker.
Yeah. Oh, look. Moipan remembers the Valley of the Dolls. It was a great book. Absolutely. All right. So, okay. That's that. Next one. Okay, you guys. I brought this up. This was a little bit of a last minute decision, but I've got questions, and I'm sure you guys do as well. Malaysia Airlines MH370. 370. That is one. Hold on, let me bring us back. Remember that was 2014. I remember I had just given birth to my son. I remember that happened, and I was trying to really connect with the passengers on board the plane because everyone was like, "This is right at the beginning." I think it was the first week where everyone was like, "Where's the plane?" Like it completely disappeared. It didn't crash anywhere. They were looking for it in India. Do you remember all that?
Yeah, vaguely,
And I
but yeah.
remember I was trying to connect to them and I couldn't connect to anyone. And I'm like, are they, are they alive? Are they even alive? Like, why can I not connect with them? And then a few months later, I did have a dream where I saw them sleeping, which means that they were out, like they weren't alive. So instantly I knew that that plane had crashed somewhere and it did not land. Because one of the theories was that the plane was hijacked and it landed on an American base called, let me see, where was it? To the Diego Garcia, no, it's a British territory and major US military base. So that was one theory that, and that's why they didn't find debris.
Was why? Oh, because it landed somewhere.
Yeah, that someone hijacked it, landed it on that island, and God knows what they did with the passengers. I don't know. Experiment on them. I don't know. That was one theory which did not make any sense.
Aliens did it.
Aliens. Area 51. They took them to Area 51.
Yeah.
The
Where
other
JFK and Tupac and Elvis are hiding.
Yeah, they're all having beers together. They're all
connected.
Bud Light.
It's all connected.
They're all in it, and they all come out on Halloween night as themselves, but they pretend that they're dressed as themselves.
Exactly.
That's a theory. Another theory was, again, that it was cyber hijacked and by God knows who, the Russians. Because that's a theory. Because remember, there was another Malaysian Airlines a few months after this happened. This with 370 went down over Ukraine. Do you remember that? A passenger plane.
No.
Zack.
I don't remember that. I didn't.
Okay. So a few months after the disappearance of this plane, another Malaysia Airlines plane crashed. I think it was the borders of Ukraine and Russia. Back then, there was a whole Crimea war going on in that area. So there was a whole discussion. Why would the Russians send a rocket and just crash that plane? So people went back to the missing plane and they said, well, maybe it was the Russians that cyber hijacked that plane, because maybe on the plane, the cargo on the plane, has anyone checked the cargo on the plane? Maybe they had some top secret stuff on the plane that the Russians did not want for it to arrive at Beijing, China. And we know they're allies. Russians and China are allies. So a lot of conspiracy theories around that. Okay.
So what happened to the plane?
All I can say is that, and now we know because they found bits and they found some debris and pieces of the wing, that it did crash. Okay. No one survived. They're not hiding somewhere. They're not with Tupac and Elvis or anything like that. So we can put that to bed, but let's find out what happened, because another theory, the Netflix documentary, I don't know if you watched that. There was a documentary, a 3-part documentary on that, where they insinuated that maybe the pilot, was suicidal and he wanted to bring down the plane and he brought everyone down with him. Another theory. Which, by the way, that did happen a couple of years after with a Eurowings, a German airline right over Spain, where he decided he wanted to unalive himself and he took everyone with him. Just saying. So the theory is not far-fetched, because that could happen, okay? Because it has happened, but I don't feel that's what happened. So what happened? Again, the Hangman. Two of Cups again. Three of Cups. Three of Swords. What's going on here? What's going on here? What is the issue? What was the issue? There was an issue. It feels like there was an issue, a technical issue maybe on the plane, or before they even left Vietnam. Or was it? No, not Vietnam. Sorry, Malaysia. They were in Malaysia. Some kind of issue, but it doesn't feel to me that it was a
Deliberate.
serious technical issue where the
Oh.
it would have been dangerous or risky for the plane to fly. But it does feel that there was some kind of issue, and they were planning to deal with it at the next service or the next maintenance thing. So it doesn't feel that bad to me. Two of Cups. Instantly, when I saw Two of Cups, I thought of the two pilot and co-pilot on board. And then the Three of Cups, so there was someone third. There was a third person on the cockpit. But some planes do have a third. They have an engineer in the cockpit, but it doesn't feel like it's the engineer. It feels like there was someone who's not meant to be there was there.
Mm.
And it's interesting that they never found the black box.
What
Or
was
did
the black
they?
box?
The black
Oh,
box
from the plane.
from the plane, yeah. Three. I get a lot of threes here. Two of Swords. Wow. They lost communication. So I'll jump here a little bit. So it does feel like they did lose communication, or they lost radar. They lost something. Some kind of like instrument didn't work.
Okay.
But the plane was still flyable. Like it wouldn't, but I feel that they were like, isolated. Three of Swords. You guys, it happened very fast, which can be a little bit, I guess it offers a little bit of a sigh of relief to their relatives and to all of us, that it happened suddenly. I do feel that they maybe lost oxygen, and they lost consciousness, so they didn't really see what was coming.
Happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels that the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, Four of Swords. Something's fishy here. Something is fishy because I don't feel it's technical. It's not the plane. I don't feel it's the pilot. Definitely not the pilot. It wasn't he didn't do this deliberately. Just feel that things happened so fast. There was no time to react. I'll tell you what it feels. It almost feels like they had. It's almost like it could be cyber hijacking. I'm not saying it isn't, and it feels more and more likely because it feels to me that they sort of like the plane took a different route, but the pilot and the co-pilot were unaware of it because one of their instruments, the radar or something, wasn't working. So they hadn't realized that they were taking a different route. So instead of heading towards Beijing, they were heading towards, I think it was north towards, I don't remember where it was, Pakistan or India. I think they were directed that way, or they were heading that way, and they didn't know because they had no contact. And that's why things went black after that. Like there was no communication, tower control lost contact with them. There was no way to get to them. For the lovers, definitely, yeah. There was definitely someone there in the cockpit, though, with them. So, and I do feel this person was in there when they start realizing, uh-oh, something's wrong here. We're losing altitude. Doesn't feel right. I feel this is what happened, and then it was way too late. They crashed in the water in the ocean. They crashed in the ocean. Indian Ocean, very, very likely, because that's where they found the debris. So, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, yeah. There was fire. There was fire. So before they crashed, the plane, or part of the plane was on fire. So, you know what they're showing me? The underbelly, or the part underneath the plane. That's the part they're showing me. And it feels like there was a fire. I don't know about, I'm not a plane designer, whatever, but I'm just telling you how I'm just describing what I'm being shown. You know where the wheels are? There's like a crypt, like a hatch where the wheels go up and they go down the hatch. So I guess if you walk through that hatch, I guess there's a lot of like computers and a lot of like instruments and stuff that is like the brain, the computer brain of the plane. Just saying. And it seems like the fire came from there, from that area.
Interesting.
But the fire wasn't an accident, deliberate, because I keep seeing a third person.
Yeah.
And here's the clue: the third person was a woman.
Oh.
Yeah. So it feels to me it was deliberate. It did crash. The plan was, they did plan it this way for us to lose contact with the plane. They didn't want it. And the reason why they wanted us to lose contact, or the world to lose contact with the plane, is because they didn't want us, the world, to know where the plane was heading, or where they had planned. Yeah. And now, whether we're going to find pieces, I'm going to answer that. I don't feel that we will ever find the plane, or like the bigger parts of the plane, or the hull of the plane. I don't feel that will ever happen. It's in the ocean, first of all, and second of all, yeah, it parts of the plane got burned down anyway, so we wouldn't be able to get clues from it anyways as to what happened.
What was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, let's see.
So we think that it was a cyber, or there was some sort of influence. We wanted to either, so did they want to take the plane, or they wanted to take the plane down?
They wanted to take it down, but they didn't want to take it because they wanted to cover their tracks as to why this happened, or what the plane was carrying. That's why they made sure that remotely they would disable the radar and communication.
Got it.
And they would steer the plane elsewhere. But this was all deliberate. This was not an accident in that respect. I really feel that the pilot tried. He's not the bad guy here. Because I'm picking up now his energy, I really feel that he tried his best to save the situation, to save the plane, to save everyone. He really tried, but there was no way. It was doomed. Everything, everything was against them. But what was the motivation? Let's see. King of Swords. Someone, King of Swords. Someone gave the order or the instructions here, and someone executed a woman. As I said, it was a woman who was partly responsible for this. Queen of Swords. What is going on here? What kind of power play is it? Something to do with the plane's cargo. Could even be someone was on that plane, and in its cargo, that plane was carrying some stuff that he had checked in, or he had brought in with him, that someone, which I'm not given who, did not want that person and the cargo to make it to its final destination. Now, who? See, do you see all these kings and queens and the pentacles and the swords that keep coming up? It's crazy. Crazy. We're talking about this is major, because one day something will come out about this plane and about what happened. Some whistleblower will come out and say, I know what was on that plane, or I know who was on that plane, or, what's, and at least we'll find out something. But some powerful people were behind this. Very powerful people. 1, 2, 3 people. Powerful people. Now, whether they are, I don't know, leaders of the world, like, I don't know, like, it's not made clear, but maybe it's to protect us all. That's why I'm not being shown. One day they will, but right now maybe we're not meant to know. And they do that. They do protect. Spirit does protect me a lot of times. They will tell me or show me things up to a point, and then they're like, that's it for now. It's best you don't know everything. So yeah, some very, very powerful people did not want that plane to get to Beijing.
Interesting.
Wow. All right. What's everyone saying? Do you have any questions, Zach? Do you want to know do you have anything spooky that you would like to know about or like talk about?
Nothing spooky. All my conspiracy theories are like boring Atlantis stuff. The lost city
the
of Atlantis.
Do you believe the Atlantis existed?
I want to believe that it existed because it would just be so fun.
I believe it did. It did exist.
Yeah.
I really do. Now, there are lots of theories out there. Where was it? So one theory is that Atlantis was in Greece, and at Santorini, which is an active island, an active volcano. It's also a beautiful island here in Greece, near Mykonos. A lot of people, one of the theories that Santorini is probably part of Atlantis. Another one is that Atlantis is in the Atlantic Ocean. Other people say that no, Atlantis was part of now what we call Latin America. I mean, there's so many theories out there.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, if Atlantis is the way that people describe it, or how people wrote, the books were written about Atlantis, that was paved in gold and people were farming and it was beautiful, it was clean, it was just, the Garden of Eden, I guess. Wow. The huge fire at Luton Airport car park, they're trying to say was a diesel vehicle, was it an electric vehicle or a hybrid? I really feel it was not a hybrid. I do feel, because I've been noticing, I do drive a hybrid, by the way. So I've been noticing the news when it comes to like vehicles catching fire, because I'm like, oh, shoot. But it's mostly, and I did ask a friend who's an engineer, and electrical vehicles are still, the technology is still not there yet. The batteries are super faulty, and especially they can, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they can, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word where, wires can go, they can catch fire when there is like, a change in the temperature. So if it's like humid one day and the next day it's really hot, that could affect the battery and the wirings, and it could create fires to electrical vehicles, Teslas, for example, or any other electric vehicle. And did you know, you guys, that if you have an electric vehicle, that you have to replace your battery within 5 or 7 years, and a battery costs up to 10K. So they're not that environmentally friendly. Let me tell you.
I did not know that.
No, it's been a whole discussion now. It's a whole discussion everywhere. Everyone's like debating, do we really need, I mean, are electric vehicles really that environmentally friendly when they catch fire? Once the batteries don't have a big life. If you have to replace them, what do you do with the old batteries? How do you get rid of the old batteries? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah. Let's see. Orchid says it was a very powerful woman on the plane, politics related. Don't recall. There you go. Yeah, I do too, Shirley. I do. We all do. It was horrible, but if it's any consolation, they just, you know, lost consciousness pretty early on, so they did not see what was coming, which is, you know, it's a bit of a relief, I guess. Is Tupac really gone since Jada sounds like she wants to? Zack?
Tupac is gone. Tupac is gone. The spirits are telling me Tupac is gone. He's not here.
Maybe Jada is Tupac.
Maybe.
I mean, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised these days, especially with Jada.
Oh, Jada.
Look what Christina's saying. She used to work in a facility that made batteries and she has health issues. I'm telling you. And the mining in the Congo. Okay, mining in the Congo to get called an indeed for batteries is horrible child labor. Yeah, that's a whole, like, we don't want to open a whole can of worms regarding the batteries, etc. But I think we get where this is going. Like, always do your own research, you guys, and not everything that's brand new that comes out straight out, you know, let's say like yeah, it's the best thing, or you should go get your Tesla just because it came out and it's the, you know, it's like super wow. No, wait. I have friends who have Teslas and they have a ton of issues with their cars. They look cool, they're amazing, but I'm just saying, technologically, they're not there yet.
They're not at the level.
And they're not at that level. Right. I don't know, you guys, if you have any questions. Otherwise,
what questions do you guys have for Natalie?
Yeah. And also I want to do something fun for actual Halloween or for next weekend. That'll be, oh, you guys, before we go, just a reminder, you have to check out, I did tell you that Georgia and I did launch a podcast. It's called Creating the Creator. And guess who was on this week? It was Zack, and it was fab. We had such a great time. If you want to get to know Zack, like not the Zack that you see on YouTube or you listen to on the podcast, but you really want to know how he started, what inspired him to get to where he is now. What are his plans for the future? Where, you know, challenges, opportunities, advice. You're going to meet a different side, or you're going to see a different side of Zack. So you guys head on over to Spotify and check out Creating the Creator. Let me show you here what our brand looks like. This is it. You can also watch it on YouTube. It's called the CPC Network as well. You can see that is super fun. We had a great time with Zack. So don't forget.
Love the cover art. Love the logo. You guys are killing it.
Thank you.
So glad that I got to be one of your first guests. Everybody needs to go and listen and subscribe and review and do all of the things, because subscribing and leaving reviews on podcasts really help. They help with the algorithm, and you need to give your love to Natalie and Giorgio.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, all the marketing and all the branding, it's Giorgio. So credits to Gio.
I need to hit him up. I'm like, I need some tips. I need some pointers, Giorgio.
No, and he's good. He was like within one day or a few hours, because we were like DMing each other. We're like, I'll do this, you do this, do. Within a few hours, he came up with a cover with this. All the content stuff, it's me. All the branding stuff is him, just so you know. So we split it up, and it's fun that way. Right, you guys, I think we'll call it a night or a day for some of you, or a night for some of us, because Zack is busy. He's also got his pups that he needs to look after, and he's got some Sunday plans, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm doing.
And are you going live today?
I'm going live on my friend Josh's YouTube channel. We're recapping Southern Charm. So if anybody watches Southern Charm, you can catch that recap in a few hours, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Me. I'm gonna. What time is it? I want to watch.
5 Pacific. So in 5.5 hours from now, 4.5 hours from now,
soon. Okay, that's gonna be way too late. I'll watch the replay. That's way too late for me. Yeah, but I'll definitely watch the replay because I love Southern Charm. And we did talk. I was on Zack's channel last week, you guys. So if you're interested in Southern Charm and you want to know what really happened between Austin and Taylor, So head on over to Zack and check out the video that we did together. It was really fun as always. And thank you for having me, Zack, too. And thank you for coming. I really enjoy having you here.
Thank you. I always love coming and collabing with you.
I know, my love. And Zack and I are kind of like talking or preparing something fun for Halloween, but it will be over on his channel. But we'll let you know about that. That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. Have a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful start to a brand new week tomorrow. Take good care of yourselves. Be happy, be kind. Allow only happy and positive vibes to enter your life, especially now with everything that's going on. Lots of love to everyone. Take care. Bye.